I forgot this palette over here, you guys. Welcome. I gotta get this one things. For some reason, my chat box is not allowing me to put my own chat in there unless I type it manually. So that doesn't help me with links and everything. So hello everyone. Hi Paula, hi Susan, Karen, Deneen. I'm so excited that you guys are here. I'm just trying to see if I can get this chat to work. There's always something sometimes, you know. Hi Stacy, hi Martha. I'll get you guys in just a sec. I'm trying to see if there's something I can, oh, I gotta cancel that. Well, nope, it's not letting me do that. All right, well, I'm not gonna be able to put my links in today. I don't know why I'm missing that out. It won't let me copy and paste. Let me try to turn on and off my keyboard here, see if that might be it. So I usually have an extra little chat box. So I don't know what's going on with that today. Let me make sure my phone's down. But welcome. So I was gonna put all kinds of things in there. You know, I might be able to do it on my phone. So let me just get that set up real quick. I just gotta get my chat open and then I can copy and paste what I need to and then put it in there. Hopefully this will allow me to do it. I have 3, you know, devices here to be able to use. You'd think I'd be able to use one of them. All right, here we go. I think this will let me do it. Yay, okay, I think I figured it out. So welcome. I gotta put my little welcome thing in there. Yeah, it just won't, it wasn't letting me just do anything, so I'd have to type all that out. Martha, she says this girly has such a mod 60s vibe. Oh, I like that. That's fun. I'm so glad that you guys are. Hi, Peg. I think I've said hello to everyone else. We'll let everyone start rolling in, right? I'm really excited to where we're at here. I have a before and after, which I need to go grab too. My printer does not, I think it's older. My printer's like 9 years old. And when I updated my computer, all of the drivers, it wouldn't let me use the driver anymore. It was like, this one is outdated. I can't use it. I went and tried to download new drivers. Still not working. So my printer is a little off. So this is where we were on Tuesday. And I want you to notice the one change I've made. I don't know, well, maybe one of you guys can see if you can find the change, but I have one change that I've made. Yeah, the struggle is real sometimes, Stacy, for sure. So the colors are a little off. I mean, I will say it does give you some color ideas, a little bit of a fall look here and a muted tone. But what I wanted to show with you is that on the side, I decided that the forehead was a little off. And the picture I was using, the forehead was chopped off and I just went up a little high and I just felt like she was balding a little bit right here. So I didn't love that. Sometimes when you sit with things overnight or give a painting time to breathe and things like that, you can see things that you wouldn't see during a live. And that's why I think no matter how long I go on a Tuesday, if I make it short or long or whatever, I'm still going to take that break for the Thursday because you just don't know what you're going to see. And so I've changed her forehead and you can see the difference here. I just brought that hairline down and it is, you know, I feel like at a more reasonable level in her head. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate that. So those things that you just don't see right away, I think can be really powerful, like I said. And so I brought that hairline down and that really helped me out a lot. And the cool thing is that I filmed it all. And for those of you who want to dive deeper, I have a Pastel Insider membership where I do all the behind the scenes videos. You get all the line art, you get a more in-depth lesson of the whole, it makes the whole thing into a full lesson from these YouTube demos to the behind the scenes, and you also get the line art. So, and on top of that, you get access to all of my classes. and it's $19.99 a month. You can go to the link. I'll put the link in here if you're interested in joining. I would love to have you be a part of the community. And let me see, I have a couple links here. Let me get the right one. Put that on in here. Oh, I can't do that. I have to do it over here. Hi, Laura, welcome. So glad that you're here. So let me just copy link. So I have to do a little bit of typing today, but all you guys are rolling in. I'll get all this stuff done in the beginning. Here is the link for that. Glad my phone's working. So yeah, so all of these lives, I think I have about, this is the 10th one I'm thinking. There's 10 lessons worth of Pastel Insider behind the scenes and all the line art and all of that that you see in these lives. So welcome, Laura. Hi, Emma. So glad that you made it here from Instagram. She said that she was going to be able to stop in today. And we're just going to talk a little bit about what size I'm working on. I have a 12 by 16. This is on a UART sanded pastel paper. And the pastel paper, this UART accepts wet media. I have been using it for years, and it just really allows all the smooth layering. I can put pencils on it without them jumping. I have a little bit of a visual of what it's like. It really takes the watercolor underpainting well. This is just a demo I did. So if you want to see the demo, this is in the first video of the owl that I did last week. And this shows you the watercolor paper. And even if you put a gesso over this watercolor paper, you're still going to get that roughness, and your pencils just don't slide as smooth, and you really don't get the layering capability. So that's what I really love about this paper. I do a full demo of that in the first owl video if you haven't watched that already. So like I shared with you, I got the hair fixed, so I'm feeling good about that. We're going to start taking all of this abstract form and start connecting it all, and I'm going to show you how I do that. And the biggest thing that I want you guys to walk away with today is just the power of layering, because it could, you know, it could be done, it could be, and I'm going to share with you what I can do and with all of this paper and be able to layer it all up. It looks like we got some big news. Deneen says that I'm loving the Pastel Insider so much that I signed up for the Pastel Retreat next September. I'm super excited and really look forward to meeting Dawn and other pastel peeps. Oh, that's such great news. I'm so excited. I was kind of wondering if you were the one of the other ones that signed up. I have a few that have signed up, and I need at least 8 spots to do the retreat. And I think it's a 12 to 14 max, so the seats are limited. So I'm so excited we get to meet. That's going to be great. I can't wait. So I will put the link for that in there. Lots of links already. But the Pastel Retreat, I've sent out the newsletter for that. And if you want to learn more, I haven't put it on my website yet, but I'm doing my first in-person retreat at this gorgeous retreat area. I wanted to find something that was going to be really exciting to go to and felt like a full getaway, not just a workshop. And this place is gorgeous. So if you want to check it out and learn more, definitely can follow the link. I also have the link below in my description as I'm just starting to advertise for it. So that is so exciting. Yeah, you're going to meet Laura because Laura's going too. Laura, and I think you're local. Aren't you like 25 minutes away? I'm thinking you're local. Okay, Karen's got a question. The last few paintings have been on 12 by 16. Where do you find the graphics double-sided adhesive sheet in that size? I can't find. Okay, I get all my graphics double-sided at Blick, and I order them in the 18 by 24, and then I just split them in half. And I cut them as I go. Sometimes when I split one, I can only use one of them on the 12 by 16, and then I will fill the back area later, you know, I'll paste together. But yeah, I buy large sheets and cut them down. And I think you need to buy at least 5 to get the deal. So yeah, I thought you were super close, Laura. Oh, this is exciting. I'm so excited. All right, so I'm gonna get warmed up here. And the one thing that I wanna play around with to get warmed up with first is I want to play with the this area. So that's area I'm not, I love the little polka dotted featherish thing here, but I want you guys to think about where your eye goes first when you look at a piece. So if I stand back and I'm looking at this, I'm going, oh my goodness, where is my eye going when it goes down here? You know, you want to carry something around, and I like it, but I think it's a little distracting. Now the cool thing is I can cover it up, and if I don't love it, I can always erase it and bring it back again. So there's no harm, no foul, because that watercolor is going to stay there. And I think that's the real special part about the watercolor, is that I can bring something back if I don't like it. I shared that in the behind the scenes video of the hair. I had I mean, this literally went all the way up here. So I shared how I can erase that and not worry so much. So I'm going to just play with that a little bit. I'm going to go maybe with a little bit of the magenta in here and just put some, I think it's cute and everything, but I just don't think it's, I'm going to show you how it's going to go back and push it back a little bit, and how your eye's not going to go there as much. And I think that sometimes you have to sacrifice something you like for the whole, because of like a composition or, you know, design factor in there. So I'm just going to go in here and start pushing it back, and then you guys are going to see what the changes on there and what you think on that. So the other thing is you can really get caught up in just using pencils. Like I could just do a lot of pencil work on this, but the pan pastels work so beautifully too that I really like to try to get a good layer of those down. But with this technique, you can do so much with it that I find is really exciting. And I have a little bit of pastel down already on this left-hand side of this, so it is going to come up and blend a little bit when I've got it rubbed there. So I want you to look now at the piece as a whole. Your eye doesn't go as strongly to that area. And then I can also bring in some pencils and maybe darken this. I'm thinking of going and putting a real dark spot here. Just using my black pastel pencil. And the thing that I like to really try to, you know, stress is that the watercolor is just an underpainting. You could go over the whole thing and change everything if you really wanted to. But now I got that dark piece in there. I really feel like graphically that makes me want to maybe keep this a little bit more, because it pushes that back in a really fun way. I really thought about even doing this whole thing in black, but I didn't know if that would be maybe a little too much. So I think I'm going to sit with that for a little bit and see how that feels. All right, let's see what chat says. Oh, thank you, Luis. It is a beautiful venue. I actually looked at a few. I really wanted to do something in the States. And before I go to, I'm going to be going to Ireland in 2026. So I wanted to do something in the States and kind of build a relationship somewhere for that. And so I'm really excited about that. Karen says she wishes she could attend, but unfortunately her health won't allow you to travel. Oh, that's so sweet though. Well, Karen, I'm just really grateful that you can be here for these lives and we can connect here. I mean, that's what most of you are going to do. So I'm really grateful for that. I seem to make her face brighter. Oh, it seemed to make her face brighter. Yeah, when you take attention away from something, it can definitely highlight other areas in a composition. Yeah, 18 by 24, I think that's the size I've been buying for that. Oh, you guys, I'm sending all of you a hug that wish you could go but couldn't. I really, but I'm just so grateful we have this here on the live streams, because that really means a lot to me. So I'm going to go in with a couple of this black and just push a little bit of this darker on a couple areas. And especially right up by her neck. And I could put even some scribbles in here, because my whole goal is to kind of mess that up. And I think I'm going to go full on dark with this leaf. If I don't like it, I could always erase it. That's the thing. So that's really pushing, like there's a whole nother little world back there. And then I have these little marks up here. I want to put some little fun mark making. I mean, you just get to build off the mark making from the mark making. That's what I really love. And black really pushes things back with value, and value is, you know, it's our superpower. I talk about that all the time. I'm looking for my value scale. Oh, it's stuck right up here. I got it. I put it in a safe place. So here's a really good example of the value I'm trying to teach you guys, is that the 10 is, put this like it's like there's layers in front of you, and the 10 is far away and the 0 is up close. So your values are actually teaching your eye to go back and pull forward. And you can also do this with cools and warms. Cools push back and warms pull forward. Warms are usually in the sunlight or in the light, and cools are usually in the shadows. And that's how you're going to use value, and you're going to use warm and cools to accent what you're trying to convey in your art. So I have these pushing back in here, and it's going to make it look like there's a whole nother, you know, level back here, and that's what I really like doing with my work. So this part is like my favorite. So let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, I always try to cut mine a little bit larger too, Laura. I like to leave about a little bit of 1/8 of an inch around it, and that always helps when I'm mounting. Yep, that's awesome. I wish I could see you too, Stacy. So that's awesome. All right, so I'm going to move forward here. I feel like I got this going really well, and I'm just going to clean up this chin right there. And then I'm going to, since I have the black in here, I'm just trying to think of maybe anywhere else I want to put that. And I can also use, if I don't want to use my pastel pencil, or I can use my black pan pastel, but I can also use a stick to kind of make some really bold marks up here if I want to do that. And I can use a stick in here and really push a couple things back if I want. I have this pattern here. Maybe it's just a little too patterny. I can break it up, and I can think about where I want that black to come in and guide the eye. So I can also do this with the pastel stick, or the, you know, the pencil, or the pan pastel. So you have choices. They're all the same medium. We're just, you know, playing with them in which way we can best express and get our message out there. So I'm thinking of accenting this. And I feel like I want to bring some darkness down here. I really like this little spot here, but I'm also wanting it to be a little bit dark to carry this magenta down. So I'm hem-hawing between using a pencil in there. I think I might use a pencil to get that circle look in there. And I have this, I think this is pretty close. No, this is that's the purple. Yeah, this one is magenta, and then we have the purple, which really hits the magenta too. And then I have this brighter magenta pencil, which is really pretty. So I'm just trying to think of where I want. I think I'm going to go with this brighter one. So I got this. I'm going to have my trusty little dowel here. Yes, I bought quite a few, Karen, from the Dakota. I have them, and I really love them. I have a really large one that they mounted for me. It's like, I think it's a 46 by something, and I haven't used it yet, and I put a piece up in my house. And so I bought one of them from Dakota. Dakota is really great. I think both Blick and Dakota offer mounting, and it's already pre-mounted. You can just buy them in pre-mounted pieces. So you can see how that's led to, these little patterns have led me to bring in this really hot magenta, which I'm loving. And I think that's going to carry it down. And then I can even bring it into this area. So I'm loving that, just getting that color brought down a little bit bolder because this was so soft right here. And when you see me looking over, I'm looking at my monitor because it's like looking through your camera. And when you can look through your camera, it gives you a different perspective and you can just see things a little bit better. So I find that really helpful. Since I have this pencil in my hand, this magenta, it is the, oh goodness. Well, it's the 335. Let me go look at it here. Yeah, it's a 335 magenta, but I'm almost at the end and that's when we get to celebrate. I'm all about celebrating using our art supplies. I believe that many art supplies that I've used over the years go to waste, and I'd really like to start celebrating and shift the perspective of like, that means I showed up, I'm, you know, creating regularly when I use something up, and whenever I use like up a whole bunch of paper or anything that I felt like had value, we got to celebrate those moments because it means you're showing up and you're actionating, and that's huge. I mean, 90% of it is showing up with this journey. So I think that is something to be celebrated, is my point. So at this stage, I find that I want to use the pencils a little more than the pan pastels because it allows me to have a little bit more energy into the piece, and I really enjoy bringing that the pencil flow and all of that. I can do more scribbles and all of that marks, and I feel like that brings me a lot more joy sometimes. And it just depends. Each painting just has its own thing that it's going to want to convey or to do. So I try not to like put myself in a box and say, this is all I'm going to do every single time. So I have this going down here, and I'm thinking I'm going to work on this little area here and kind of connect it. So to do that, I could bring some of this color into here and then go into the green. And maybe I cover up the watercolor, but that's okay. The watercolor is there to be an underpainting and a guide. So I'm creating a transition that going from one area to the next area. And that's what my whole goal is here. And then I could go in with a green pencil. Sharpening them, it helps. I need to order a few of them. I have this one, it's a 575, it's a leaf green. And I could go in with that on top and keep going. And then that's going to connect these two. And you can just do all these fun little patterns. And it's amazing how much you can cover up. And so now I have a little bit of a connection between those two. And then I can even, you know, fill some of that if I want. Just had that magenta pencil and I've set it down. I don't know how I can lose stuff. I mean, it's literally right here. Oh gosh, I remember Laura telling me, oh, all these, oh, here it is. It just got hidden underneath. I'm thinking I'm going to fill in a couple of these. It might lose some of the pattern, but that's okay. I'm just looking for a blend, and then I could go over it with even, I'm going to start bringing in some pink, and this is the portrait pink. And so we talked about how I'm choosing colors to go on top. You know, I usually will pick something pretty close. Like, I don't know if I love that right there, so I'll figure out which one I'm going to like the most. I might even go with a red. So see, say I didn't love that, I can just erase it. And it just brings me all the way down there again. So it's really no big deal. And sometimes I think the erasing really brings more abstract into the piece. So let's see what chat says. Okay. Okay, I've heard that. Okay, I read that. Karen, whatever works. Yeah, I don't like to have headaches either. Emma says, do you decide beforehand your color scheme or is it in the moment? Well, Emma, I talk about that quite a bit. I will start off with like a main color for say. I think it's always great to talk about color. And I highly suggest getting a color wheel. And what I will do is, what I've learned that I do is like, I knew I wanted green in the piece. Like if I want something to be more earthy or things like that. And so if I want the red or the green to be in there, I chose to do complementary colors to start off with. So I will kind of go with, you know, something like I'll go, okay, well, I'm going to start, I know I want red in here and I know I want green in here. So I will start with that. And then what happens is I'll take the red and I'll usually bring in like a split complementary on each side. So you can see there's a red orange in here. I got a red violet in here. That's where I brought in this violet. And then on the green side, I will bring in like the blue green, but that was the green. And then I have the yellow green, and then I can bunch it up to a yellow, and I'll just start going with color wheels like back and forth like that. So that is how I usually will work with color, and that is what guides me along the way. So I'm going to go in and continue to work on blending a few of these spots. And I haven't really touched orange. So like that's, for instance, I have a lot of this burnt sienna in here, and the burnt sienna was the watercolor underneath. So if I have the burnt sienna and that's like a red orange, then I can hit orange right next to it. And that's going to give me a leaping off point. If I know I want to go more towards the burnt sienna, I can use both these two because they're in the orange family. So this is a 675, which is a French ochre. And then I have this like 221, which is just orange. So I can play around with that, and I can maybe even bring those up and play with like patterns in there. So it just gives you a stepping off point of what color I'm going to put in there. And I think for me, that's how I do the rainbowing, is I will start off with like a complementary and then branch off of that. So I'm all about wanting to create texture and transitions in here. So I can bring these down into each other. The green and the orange always looks really good together, and bring in some more of the orange. And I'll just kind of start putting in some seemingly random spots, but a lot of time it's just, I'm just bouncing off what color is already there. And then I'll play with the patterns and play off of them and stuff like that. So that's basically what I'm doing here in the hair. And then a lot of times when the colors kind of merge into each other, I can go in and transition them into each other too. And then it just becomes fun and intuitive. So now I've created a little bit more of a transition in here, and it's not as choppy. What I'm trying to avoid is touching really anything on the outer skirts, because that is what I want to really shine with the watercolor. And there's certain spots that I think are really, really beautiful. Like I might pop some color in there, but the rest on the outskirts, I'm gonna kind of leave. I'm debating about filling these white holes. I might fill a couple of them, but I'm also just trying to figure out what I want to clean up. I think I want to work with this little spot right here and bring that up with the turquoise. And I have some beautiful turquoise options. It's getting really dark in here, so I'm going to pop my light up just a bit. I have to have another light. And that really helps because it's the overcast here in the Pacific Northwest is like literally, it feels like it's dark out. And I'm also going to come into the face here. I'm just getting really warmed up. So to get warmed up, the face has a lot more thought process in it. And so I like to get warmed up throughout a piece before I jump into something that is a little bit more challenging. And so I just like to let one thing lead to another. There's a little bleed mark in here, so I'm thinking, you know, I might want to clean that up a bit. I have a few green pencils, and I have some really bright ones too. I'm trying to see if I have those out. It's hard to pick what all the pencils I want to have out all the time, but I do have some really pretty bright ones. Let me see here. I think I got most of them. Okay. Like I have a few like almost neon. That is pretty close, but it's pretty neon. To clean up this little spot here. That's actually quite pretty. This is it's called Chinese green, and it's a 730. I haven't used that much, just to clean up that pattern. I can put a little bit of it in here. And I can bring that feather down a bit. So that there's little splatters, like maybe that they got over spots a little bit too much. So these pencils really help clean that up. And then I can add a little feather edge there. So that looks a little bit natural. Hi, Eddie, welcome. Oh, look, I missed some chat. I'm sorry, guys. Karen loves opening art supplies. I love opening boxes of art supplies. Oh my gosh. Oh, you have a trick. Let me see. When my hubby's home off the road, I hide the cardboard until he leaves. That's so smart. I don't think I'd get away with that with my hubby. Laura says, Dawn, is this woman based on you? She resembles you in some ways. No, I don't think so. Maybe she's my joy. I mean, I definitely feel really joyful with her, and I'm really enjoying her. But no, I haven't. That's so sweet, Laura. That's so sweet. Let's see, the zip lips. Yeah, everything at Dakota Pastels is pretty amazing over there. It's really beautiful. Like they have all the things. I actually got to go to the Dakota Pastel warehouse, and I took a workshop over there from Tony Elaine. See how I cleaned that up? See, the pencils let you clean up the watercolor, so there's no mistakes. But yeah, I took a workshop over there, and I got to go into their it's like a warehouse. It's not it doesn't have all the shiny things in there, but it was really fun to be able to go into. Oh, I didn't know I was going to love this pencil so much. I think that's the whole story with the Caran d'Ache pencils, is you don't know you're going to love them, and then you start using them, and you're like, oh my gosh, these pencils, like, look at that. So that is the Chinese green, and it's a 730. It's almost like a neon. I think it's just really beautiful, and it's actually giving me some light highlights. So like you can see up here, right there, there's those 3 little lines over, and I'm just going to take those and clean them up with this pencil, and you're not going to see them, and I'm going to create a hair highlight. So now I have that cool hair highlight. I can put a little bit of a highlight on her skin right here and get rid of that black line. And I could come back in with pencil on that, but see how now that black line isn't really showing up there. And that can be done in a couple different spots, but. And I can go back and forth with other pencils with that to bring it up or back or whatever. And so I'm really. I got a few, bring some of that in there, some other colors. So a lot of things are starting to come together. I can take this pencil and put a full pattern into this, which could be really pretty, and start working on, you know, bringing some of those leaves and creating some separation. The hardest thing with these pencils, and I'll get caught up on chat, I know I'm getting kind of flow really soon. I use this M&R sharpener, and I really keep the blade replaced. Especially for these Caran d'Ache pencils, you have to be really careful with sharpening them because they are the softest pastel pencil that I have found that you can buy. So I've gotten that sharpened, and I will catch up on chat here. It's the thing we shall not speak of. I know, Stacy, it's so dark over here. Hi, Eddie, welcome to chat. So glad that you're here. Sorry I waited so long to say hi. Oh, wow, the sun's already down in Ontario. Question, Dawn, did you not want to answer? No, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. That's sweet. I think it caught me off guard because I didn't think of it like me at all, so you had me thinking. My wheels were churning in there. Oh, I love that. I can't answer for Dawn, but I know when I draw women, they usually resent. I think there's parts of you that come out in a painting that is just, it's your energy. There's always, I feel like, a connection to it. I mean, quite honestly, I did this one a long time ago. You guys, you can see, this was a self-portrait, but I never thought it really looked much like me until I did it later, you know, and then. But that is my work. I think this was back in, I don't think I dated this one, but it was quite a few years ago. So it really shows how much you grow and things like that. But let's see. Oh, just a second. Darn. Sorry, guys. My extra light, I didn't put it into a hard wire. These are wireless. So you guys are getting the full live deal here today. It's okay, you guys are used to it. I had to film something before this. I got a exciting news to tell you guys too. So now I got my lights back. Well, now it's probably too bright because now it's full powered. So just a second. Okay, I would strongly recommend anyone needing color wheel to do your research. And make sure you get a new modern color wheel. The old incorrect can be frustrating. Well, that's true. I haven't gotten a new one. Cameron would know, like a bloodhound, I bet, for sure, 100%. Wow, you guys have been chatting away. Yeah, the pencils are great. Aw, sending you a big hug, Stacy. They do. I don't think you can buy too many pastel pencils. I really think that they all have a place in my studio too. And I think there's such a range of color, and that is huge. Like I don't have a lot of duplicates. I don't feel like the duplicates or that I'm having, you know, where I'm not using them all, I feel like I can use them and they all feel really good to me. So you can see how we can use that watercolor and just pull out some additional kind of, you know, flowy little hair moments that I think are really beautiful. And if you want to tone it down, you can tone it down, but you're also, you know, just get these little moments that I think are fun that can add a little hair vibe, you know. I can even put, you know, a little bit of a circle around that so that feels like hair. Go like that. So I'm actually discovering that I can leave the face and do a lot of this other stuff and get it to a point, and then I don't have to do it maybe as much because I'm actually using the paper to really bring out the values in the face. So I'm enjoying just getting some of these things going on around it, and then I'll come to the face and see how much I want to do. Oh, Stacy's reminding me to hydrate. I do need to get a drink of water. There's some, you guys are so sweet. Oh, is Marty here? Welcome, Marty. Thank you. Oh, you guys are great. All right, I'm going to get my water, and then I'm going to move on to the next spot that I'm going to work on. Oh, I was going to do this little guy over here with the turquoises. So I have all of these great, this was the find of the day. This pencil was the 730, the Chinese green. I don't think I've ever used it really in a painting so intentionally, and I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm going to go here with this turquoise. I don't have a lot of turquoise in the piece yet, so I either got to take some away or bring some in. So I'm going to try to bring some in, and if you were thinking of the color wheel, since we're talking more about that, we have our greens, which this green on this color wheel is pretty much in this emerald green vibe, but we're going over into here. If we were using like a Kelly green or whatever, this would be the next jump over. So that is how I'm thinking. So all these greens, it's just really connected. So I'm going to clean up this guy. And so when I was watercoloring this, I didn't have to be as careful because I knew that I would be able to come in and clean it up. Okay, I got to sharpen this one real quick. Now I've showed you guys the sharpener and I've set it down. Here it is. So I'm always trying to make jumps to something or connections. That's a lot of my goal. And I think up here these beautiful rusts and this kind of almost like a red iron oxide that I made with the red would be really pretty to have some of this turquoise in there too. So I'm definitely going to go up there with some of it. And we'll get that. And I took some away over here, but I could come out here a little bit farther with some of this and put some in. And you can see how this is just building on each piece, and then we're going to start just really, basically what I'm doing is we're creating color harmony. And so you want to harmonize your colors throughout the piece. We have this beautiful turquoise that's really subtle down here. I can see it better, I think, than what you're seeing on your screen, but it's subtle in there. And then I'm thinking up here, I want to bring some in. Now I love these little portal holes through the hair, so I'm going to really try not to touch that. I love this little spot here. So I'm just trying to think of, I can just bring it up a bit. And we're just getting that speckled in so it balances out. So I think you can start seeing the balance kind of taking form of where I have that turquoise brought in here. Trying to think if I can, I don't think I'm going to bring any out here because that's going to mess with this beautiful watercolor that I don't want to mess with at all. I'm thinking, yeah, so it's just trying to find a happy balance between it all. Oh, I had some really good news to share too. So I've been working on a, you know, I think I might put this in turquoise. Let's just see what it looks like. Yeah. I've been working on a new freebie. And the freebie, I think you guys are really going to enjoy. It's called, I think I'm going to call it Key to My Heart. I have to fix something on it, but it's only at the underpainting stage. And I'm going to be releasing it this month as a gift to you guys for the holidays. And I'm really excited about it. So I will show you a little peek of it. I had it in my stories on Instagram. But so I can sit with that. I think I'm digging it. I think if I just get a little bit of a transition right here, I'm going to really enjoy that. I might bring a little orange in. Or maybe this burnt, like this 675, which is the French red ochre. Might transition with the French red ochre in here a little bit. I think it's this spot here that's kind of, yeah, that feels better to me. So you can see how it just starts playing off of each other and playing off of each other. Okay. What? I don't have any cream UART. Total blasphemy. Yep, so true. I just put in my Blick cart today along with about $100 worth of other art supplies. I'm a PanPastel addict. Well, way to join the club, Susan. I'm so glad that you're here and I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I don't mean to enable you too much. I do want to tell you guys, for those of you who are ordering PanPastel, if you've already got your minimum at Blick, you could go order over too at the Merry Artist, because you get an additional 10% off, and they have some of the best PanPastel prices. So go check them out. They're down below in my link to see if you're going to get a better price on anything that you have, because it might be worth it. And if you use coupon code DawnVS, you're going to get that additional 10% off. Just saying. I mean, you definitely can. So we're definitely going to be working on this spot over here, and I think I might block this in here because we have so much white right there. Let's see. Hi everyone, I'm a art supply hoarder. What did they call that? They called it a collecting disorder or something like that. We don't want to use the word hoarder. We're going to say, but I don't think hoarder is worse than disorder. I don't know. Let's see. Denine, what a lovely art you have on your Instagram. I know, she's such an amazing, she can draw. She does amazing drawings. If you aren't following Denine, I want to always say Nine, but Denine, she has an amazing account. Yeah, I would definitely check out the Merry Artist. So let me show you guys, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the new freebie I'm going to have that's going to be in my free soft pastel library. So if you are not a member, you got to subscribe to my newsletter. Once you subscribe, you'll be sent a welcome newsletter. Then you have to log on and make an account and join the free pastel, soft pastel, not the insider, but the pastel library. So this is a free thing. I put freebies in there every so often. I have quite a few in there already, but I'm way overdue to have one. And I put it up over here. And this is just the underpainting. So it's called what is it? Key to My Heart. I was thinking Key to My Heart or something like that. So this is just the underpainting, and it's a little 9x9. And so I'm going to be, the keyhole is upside down. But here's the thing, I'm going to show you how to fix it. So I'm excited. I was like, something's wrong with this piece. I'm like, the keyhole is upside down. So this is just the underpainting stage. I show you everything. I give you the full line art. You're going to have the full video, everything behind the scenes. Like, it's not going to be demoed on YouTube. It's going to be a full free lesson. So if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, please go sign up. I'm going to put that link in here, but you can just go to dawnvandersoup.com. It's on my front page. Sign up anywhere, and then you'll get that link to go and make an account and become a member of the free soft pastel library. So I have that coming up. I should have it done and ready before the end of the month. So I'm excited. I really want to have it done before next week, because I'm going to be here this week and then next week, and then I'm taking the week of Christmas off. And so I'm going to have it in there by that time for everybody. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you. I know, right? She's like, that's awesome. Blushing over here. Yeah, I'm excited. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. And I think the reason why I really want to do it is it breaks everything down really small and simple and fun. And it's just a heart. And the basic thing that I want to share with you is that the heart is this, one basic form. And I walk you through the whole thing of how to abstract that out. I even show you how I draw all of that. I show the drawing, the whole thing, because I want you guys to feel prompted to be able to go, okay, here's a shape. I can go and add these mark making and these doodles or whatever, however you want to call it, to it, and make something really fun. And so I want to break it down and simplify it for you, because I know some of this can be a little overwhelming. I also have this, if I have some time today, which I don't know if I will, but I could play with this a little bit more. This was the little basic demo I did on Tuesday. So we might go in and just do a few little things on another layer with that if I can get my stuff together and get this going. So I'm having so much fun talking with you guys. Yeah, so I'm really excited. So that's to be announced when I will get that released. I think I'm going to go in here with a little bit. I'm getting rid of that one little pattern back there, but I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to put some dark, like some other color in there. I think I might want to go darker. I might want to go black. I'm going to go in with my black PanPastel, and you got to go bold. I'm trying to find a black wand with some black on it. This is a darker wand. This is my so-called lighter wand. And I'm just going to take a chance. And sometimes it looks good all light and everything, but I'm going to go in and carry the eye for this composition, because this is an L composition. We got it going down and to the right. And so I'm kind of got an L composition going here. And then I think I might go over this with a little bit of white and create the strings. There we go. And so I can put some lines in over there as I go for that. I'm hem-hawing about doing up here, even though that's a little airy. I kind of like that, but You're never going to know unless you try, and I think having a little bit more dark into this piece isn't going to be a bad thing. And I might go with my pencil if I want to keep those lines in there. And I'm going to use my little eraser here that I have. So I went up and bumped those lines. And this is how I can keep those lines. And this is just going to give me more things to put scribbles and all of that on too. And then I can and then I can work off of that and build on it. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. So I have this pencil here, which the pencils really guide you to the watercolor guides you to what you want to do next. And so I have that 675 that's in that, you know, burnt sienna vibe. And I can, you know, put lines over that and kind of continue this up and make it look more of a natural transition. But I have some dark to kind of play off of there. And then I've got that busted out on the top. I might go and carry out the black up here. Let me watch my time so I'll have enough time today. I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna have way too much time today, and now I'm gonna go put a little bit more black in here. I might just take this whole section. Okay, and then I could go with like the cream. I might do this, the cream, or I can use a really pretty, this is kind of a raw umber. I use that a lot, but you know, that's green right there. So I think I'm gonna pull the green down. Let's just use this. This is the 575. This is kind of that bright area, but I think I'm just going to go in with the green. And then I can bring those lines down into the black. See? And then it kind of, you know, makes it where it's not so, you know, just hanging out there. And then I have that beautiful bright, but you know, we're going away from the face. I would really like the brights to stay in there. So that's why I'm not going to necessarily go that bright. But I have this 232, which is called, it's a Caran d'Ache, it's a middle moss green. And I can, you know, break this up a bit. And that carries into this quite nicely. I have to be careful because this will break the lid if I'm too aggressive. So I'm just trying to create scribbles and transitions. Feel like that went a little too much of the black, so I can just use an eraser. And the eraser will break up spots, and I'm fine with that. I have that little pattern underneath that I forgot I had. If I want to bring some of that back, you know, that wasn't too bad. But look, like this is how I can play with that and go, okay, well, maybe that wasn't so bad. And then I can create a little bit of a transition there. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Question, middle moss, is that correct? Yeah, Susan, this is middle moss. It's $2.32 for the pencils. I have a few really pretty Caran d'Ache green ones. This one is a light olive. It's really pretty. I think it's really close. It's a next step down, so it's a little bit more over here. But they're all really pretty. And I think I'm going to bring this emerald green back up. It's a 545. And I'm going to combine these two right here. Well, I'm so glad that all of you guys showed up today. Thursdays are always a little bit quieter. Well, I don't ever really get that because I feel like Thursdays are my favorite days. But okay, so you can see how I brought that turquoise in, and I feel like it's getting really balanced here. I think turquoise would be really pretty in this pink up here, and I'm liking leaving that up there. I'm just going to maybe put a little bit of speckles in there. There we go. So that's feeling a lot better with bringing that black out a little bit. I feel like we got black coming in here. I might... Just something. So all of these fun mark making things, I even share in the free lesson that I'm going to be having here. I share with you guys how to make your own inspiration page to help prompt you with different patterns. And this is a really good example of that. Okay. So I'm feeling a lot better about some of these transitions. And you're going to see when I show you the before and after how much the layering can really make a difference. I'm feeling like I want to put some real good solid color in over here. I might even just go into my red and I want to put some red in there. I feel like I got quite a bit of red where I want, but that was one spot that, and I'm liking the softness right there. So I might go and work on her face for a little bit and see what else I want to do. And the other thing I want to tie in is maybe a little bit more white. So we got her eyelashes to do, her lips and her teeth. So I'm going to switch into working on her face because I'm feeling pretty good about the rest of her. There might be some things that I look at and want to tie in with the other hair, but you can see the real importance of leaving that splashiness. And I think that takes time to kind of have that strength to not put anything in there. And that can be really hard to do is to not touch it. So right there, I'm like, okay, I'm already ahead by not touching it. So I'm gonna use one of my favorite Pitt pencils. This is the shadow pencil. It is a 175, and I'm going to play around with the idea of trying to get her eyelashes in here. And I don't want it to be too strong, and I think I want to go a little bit sharper on this. That's where I would probably take the time to sharpen something a little bit more, is when I'm doing something like the eyelashes. Little Sunny is dreaming. I can hear him making these little noises. And you don't want to go where, you know, the eyelashes are so strong that they take over. A lot of times I won't put eyelashes in a piece, but there's sometimes I feel like they really need to be here. And this is one of them. But I really try to be conservative with the eyelashes, because I don't want it to look like she's overdone her makeup for the day, you know, like I might have to play with that. Right, I think these are a little bit more forward out. See how I can fix that? There's no reason to be scared. You can just put that in there and you're going to be fine. And I can put that color back in. Maybe want to go a little bit darker. I think that's what I'm wanting. So I'm going to use this extra dark over here. I don't think I have that to the full extent of how dark I want that to be right there. And then I'll catch up on chat here in just a sec. I'm wiping it off. And I'm just trying to get that little shadow of a transition. Now I also have a really beautiful, I can use the shadow pencil, or I can use, you know, I have two shadow pencils that I love. One when I'm doing a lot of purples and violets and things like that. I will use a P280, and this is probably one of the main Derwent pencils. I do not have a lot of the Derwent, but this one I'm going to show you how I'm going to use it as a shadow pencil. All right, Eddie, so glad that you were here. Thanks for visiting. Oh, thanks for saying hi to Stacy. Thanks for saying hi to Sunny. Oh, thank you, Paula. I'm so glad they make you brave. Suzanne says, I'll be gone next week, but I'll be thinking about everyone, and I'll be excited to see the projects when you get home. Well, I hope you have safe travels next week, Susan. Okay, so now I want to go a little darker, but I don't necessarily want to use the black PanPastel, so I'm going to just show you how this will kind of bring this a little bit darker and bring maybe her eyes just down a little bit. And I like to kind of tap it down, and I'm just going into where it's going to really be a shadow in there. So I'm trying to be conservative. And you can see how that's going to push that eye back. And I'm wiping off my finger when I'm out of frame here onto my towel right now. So I like that little contrast right there. I think having it go back darker and getting it a little bit darker is going to bring her eyes a little bit more drama. And I'm all about, you know, the contrast and the drama, if you haven't, you know, noticed. But you can see how I'm slowly doing this. I'm not just going in hard. And I think with faces, I have to be a lot slower. So the other spot that I would do this in is right here. And I want to protect where that cream is. I don't want to go into the cream. So I'm going to go over to this. So I'm looking at my monitor over here, just trying to get the, I'm also painting at a kind of a weird angle when I'm live. I can't fully, if I was fully in front of the painting, this is where I would be if I was working by myself. And you don't want to stare at the back of my head the whole time. So I'm actually to the left of the painting. So when I'm looking at my monitor, it really helps me because I'm just not fully in front of the painting like you would think I would be. And that can be a little challenging sometimes, especially when you're working on, you know, bringing out, you know, some shadows. And you know how those creases are a little bit darker, but I don't really want that to be black. So I'm just defining that, bringing up slowly. And then I can step back and have a drink. I mean, you would think her makeup would be colorful with the whole scene. So I'm really liking her eyes, so we're going to play with her lips too. Dawn, I'm doing a great job. Off all catty... Wait. Dawn, you're doing a great job. Off all cattywampus. Looks great. Oh, thank you. What number is that Derwent, Laura says. It's one of my favorites. It's a P280. It's called Dioxine Purple. I hunted this bugger down, you guys. Like, I hunted it. Dun, 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 dun. I was like, I have got to find a really dark violet because I used to paint in dark violet all the time, and I was collecting dark violet pastels, and I found this, and I was like, you know what? This is exactly what I was looking for, and I love it. So just putting some little marks down there with the violet. It's like step away from, I don't love that. That's a good example of the color. Oh, I like that. See, you just don't know. It's just a great substitute for black. So any spot that I want to have a little bit more color in, I can pop that in there. So let's see here. I want to go a little bit underneath the eye. I don't want it to be too strong, so and this eye already has a little bit underneath it where I'm feeling pretty good about that. And this one I might just touch with my magenta extra dark because it's going to be a little bit easier to blend that in and soften. So the difference is between the pencils and the PanPastel is the PanPastel is just so much, it's just very soft and fluffy. Pencils can be a little harder. They sit on top of the paper a little bit more, so they have a tendency to not be one with the piece. So I'm just playing with the PanPastel because I know I can get that to look a little bit softer, and that's what I want. And so I'll go back and forth with that, just hitting a few darker spots that I know I want to accent a little bit. Like right underneath the nose. And I would say this is probably one of the first times I've really utilized the paper, the cream of the paper, and I'm actually keeping some of that without touching it. It's very rare that I've done that. So I find that that's a win for me on this one. I'm going to go right into some. I know I was working on the eyes, but I'm going to go in with this portrait pink here because I see it. I want to make this transition better. So this is the 582. I would say if I was going to go with my favorite Caran d'Ache pencils, like I really want to do a whole list of them. Maybe I'll do that next week. I'll pull out all of, okay, come next week on Tuesday, I'm going to pull all my favorite Caran d'Aches and show them, but I think I could do a little bit right now because I have them all right here, of ones that I really think are worth going out of your way to buy. And I'm just trying to look in here so I don't miss them. And then I have a couple back here that I love, and they're the blues, but I don't. And then the rest, I would not necessarily say I gotta pull them. There's not a huge amount. I mean, there's some that you guys have seen that are really, really beautiful, but I have a few here, but I'm just gonna pull these few because I know a couple of you are shopping right now. And I've showed the greens, and I will do a quick little runoff of some of my favorites here, okay? I know you guys keep asking, and I've just put it off, but I want to finish her face today too. So I'll name them off. Here we go. My favorite, Caran d'Ache. Maybe they'll turn this one into a reel, okay, or a short. So my favorite Caran d'Ache pencils. Love this brand, super soft. This is a 245. It's called a light olive at 40%. This one was the one I used for the leaves today, which I really love. It's a 730. It's a Chinese green. This one is the middle moss green. It is a 232. This one is a light olive. It's a 20%. I'd say I haven't used this one that much, and it's a 243. This one is a must. It's a 70, and it is called Scarlet. Then I have my Portrait Pink. Couldn't live without my Portrait Pink. There's not a lot of pinks that are in pencils that you will love. So the Portrait Pink is a 582. Now we're going to go into our magentas. It's really hard to find good magentas, you guys. I would say in the Caran d'Ache pencils, these are really nice because this is all you get in Carbothello, a 385. It is not my favorite pencil. I don't use it very often. It's super bright, and I don't love it. So this is the difference, is this is a 105, this is the plum, and then this is the 99, which is the aubergine. This aubergine and plum I use all the time. Now we're going to go into the blues. The blues, I only have a couple. This bluish gray and is a 145. I use this a ton. A 161, this is a light blue. I've been using this a little bit more than I have in the past. This one is my other main one. It is the ultramarine, so I use a lot with the ultramarine, and this is a 140. So there is your top list of Caran d'Ache pencils that I love. I hope that helps you guys out and will make you not feel like you have to buy the whole set. If you can afford the whole set as a present to yourself, highly would say yeah, but I would suggest having a full set of Carbothello pencils before Caran d'Ache. That's just my suggestion. And okay, let me see. Oh, Stacy's got them. Let's see. Oh, Cat or Mick. I'm just going to call you Cat. Hi, Cat. Welcome here. Are they pastel pencils or pencils like luminance? They're pastel pencils. I'm a soft pastel artist, and I'm just showing you mixed media that I do with my soft pastel, but I main soft pastel. I don't really use any other pencils with the art, especially on the UART pencil paper, but I've seen a lot of color pencil artists use the UART paper, and they also use the Luxe archival pencil, archival paper too. So, all right. Welcome to Kat. Welcome, Kat. So glad you said something in chat. Stacy says, Dawn, do you dream about painting? I don't have dreams about painting very often, but what I do is I focus my thoughts on my painting when I have a lot of other thoughts that I don't want in my head. The painting has really helped my overthinking. Friends who know me know I'm an overthinker. My girlfriend bought me a sticker that says, hey, let me overthink this for a minute. I'm like, you know me. Yeah, so I overthink, and so my painting helps me a lot with just focusing on what I'm going to do. So the more I'm in the studio, the more I have good focus, and my thoughts don't overtake me. So I'm going to use this portrait pink, and I think I'm going to bring it, I just want this to be a little bit more rich. So I'm going to go up a little higher than I want, and then I'm going to go back down with a lighter pencil. That is going to make this line not be as strong, and that is my goal. So I'm going to lighten this up. And with the pencils, the one thing I've learned, a lot of it is layering. So if you are not doing multiple layers, that they will just sit on the top of the paper. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I think you guys can see how it sits on the paper a little bit. Okay. Just a sec, I gotta always redo my thing. Oh, there it went. There, good. Okay, and it'll pop out. And then I gotta up my brightness. So you guys gotta yell at me if I go to, right. So see how it's floating on the paper right there? It's not in the paper. And so now I'm gonna take a lighter pencil. I'm gonna use the Ivory, and I'm gonna go back and forth, and that's how you mix colors with the pastel pencils. I could use PanPastel too, but I don't know, I'm into the pencils today. So now I can go back and forth and go over this and create a blend. And it's gonna smooth this out. And then I'm thinking right up here is a little bit lighter. I love this line that's in there with the watercolor, so I'm gonna try not to harm that, but I'm gonna go back into the pencil. I'm gonna go down to this line a little bit, and then I'm smoothing that out. So see how that's really smoothed the transition out, and you get a little bit more of a beautiful soft look. Now I can go back and forth, and that's going to help with that. So once you get like a base layer in there, it starts just getting to be more fun and more fun. So a lot of times with the, I'll even use this bright red. Let me see. I like to put a little bit of red in here, down here at the base, and this is going to give a little bit of luminance that it's flesh. And I can hit that in a couple spots, and then I can go back and forth. Like say I have my, this is a pretty close match to value, because you're always trying to match value. And these purples, they just don't, I can't find these purples in any other brand. The Carbothello, the closest thing I have that I lean on a lot is the Caput Mortem, which is a 642. That one I'll do a lot. But there isn't a lot of pink. So that's what I was telling you with the Pitt pen. This has ended up being a pencil day, but hey, we're going with the flow. The Pitt pencils, I don't know what set these come in, but I highly suggest these because they go with the other pinks, but they're a neutral. Pitt pencils are more earthy, more neutral, not as bright. And like this is the 132, the 189, and a 131. I don't have a list of all the names of these, but I think they're called Flesh. And we need all the Flesh pencils we can get, you know, so. But, so yeah, I love those. And then I have this, I'm gonna go in here with this Aubergine, and this is the 99. And I'm gonna just smooth this out just a little bit, go back and forth with the nose. And it's a little bit brighter, so I don't want to go too crazy. And then I can use my shadow pencil, which is the other Pitt pencil that I love. Now I am a little bit disorganized, and I can clean this up. So the shadow pencil is the 175. And when I go in there, I can, you know, blur it a little bit so it's not so strong. All right, so you're really getting a full close-up of her nostril, but you know, And then I want to get a little bit more definition, and here I can just use this shadow pencil really lightly to create some more depth right there. Let's see. Oh, I was going to work on her eyelashes. I might as well do that right here. This is a different side view, so her eyelashes are a little bit different right there because we're at a different angle. So I'm just going to let that sit. And they always have, when we have makeup on, of course, that line is a little thicker. And then up here, and that's going to really get those eyes popping. So now I'm going to work on those lips, and I'm also going to use that really beautiful Derwent pencil. I think the reason why I haven't bought more of the Derwents, they feel really light. They work great. They sharpen okay for me. I want you to notice this though on a sharpener. I get people complaining about they don't fit. So they don't fit in a standard, so I have the 2-hole sharpener. I don't put the sharpen blade in the bottom hole. So I use this round one that has the big hole and the little hole. And these don't fit in there. I think they fit the Carbothellos fine. Yeah, they fit the Carbothellos. They fit fit the Pitt pencils. The Caran d'Ache, I think they're too big. So I always sharpen in this larger hole here. I just set my pencil on the bottom and push up, and or whichever side, I pick a side, and then I sharpen in there. So I just push forward real good, and I use this for all of my pencils. I've gotten used to it. So I'm going to go in here and play with the lips and the teeth here, but I'm going to catch up on chat. Oh, perfect. Cat is her nickname. That is perfect. I know. Pastel pencil throwdown. We got that going on today, don't we? Deneen has a question. If you use clean wand over the top, would it blend them and make them sit on the paper more? You know, you could try that, but I kind of find that the pencils will come down off the paper. It might blend them a little bit, especially depending on how layered you are. I think you just have to test that out and see what that feels like. But I find that it knocks them off and more than blends them. Okay, Louise, you take care. I'm so glad. Have a great time with your girlfriends. Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, Laura helped out there. So I'm going to go in here with the mouth. Now, with teeth in the mouth, you know, a lot of times you don't want these to pop out more. You want the teeth to be subtle. A lot of times when people do teeth, they overdo them. And so if anything, I'm going to push them back a little bit more than to pull them out. And I don't want too much going on there. So I'm going to play around with that and bring some shadow in. The upper lip is usually darker than the lower lip too. So I'm going to play with that. And there's a little hole in here. We'll see. We're going to have to go back and forth on the lip and see what I get going in there. Calling it a day, not feeling my best. Oh, Karen, we're sending good healing vibes your way. I will see you next week, Karen. Take care. I love that she says goodbye. You guys are all so sweet. So I'm just going to go in here, put some dark underneath this lip, kind of bring this back a little bit, and tap that down, and we're going to push it. And I can always pull it back out again. I'm just trying to get So I do use my finger a lot more with the pencils like that, just trying to get the blend. And I wouldn't even mind going over the whole teeth a little bit. I can even take an eraser and bring them out more if I wanted to. That's kind of a cool thing I could do. Like if I get this in here and it's too much, you can always bring a pencil to bring them out. I mean an eraser. And then we have a little bit of a grounding right here. And then this lip is a little bit lighter, so I'm going to see what I'm going to pull up. I think I'm going to try to use more of a burnt sienna or an orange. I know, don't we wish we had, she doesn't have, she's all natural, ladies. There's no lip filler. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to take down a little bit of that. Trying to get the values right on here. And this is the 675, which is the French red ochre. And then I'm going to use these flesh pencils and kind of play with them. I have the 131 I'm going to go in with first. That's about the same value as what I was using, so I could have used that right there, but we'll just have a mixed color here. And then I could go up the next value. It has like 3 values. The 189 is the next one. And that's a little bit more muted, but I think I'm going to go up to the next one. And this is the brighter one, the 132. I could even use a little bit of portrait pink in here. And I can always put color back in. You know, I don't have to... So with lips, you want those transitions to be a little bit smooth in between right here and there. It's not a definite like line. I can go back and put a little bit more color in here because this probably would be in color a little bit more aligned with the lip. But it's not a harsh line. And I think that sometimes we get a little bit carried away with that. Let me stand back a little bit because she's really close, but I'm feeling a little better about that. I can go put some, you guys are seeing her really close too. I'm trying to keep those highlights in there. I'm going to bring a little bit of this portrait pink in right here. And then, you know, I think I'm going to not, well, I really want to touch this with portrait pink. I'm just going to touch it. I like it. It's just trying to find that little happy medium. So the portrait pink's pretty bright, but it's still not bright enough. So with that trouble, if you would call it that, I would use this pink tint. And this is a 681. It's just like using a tint when you're using PanPastel. And I'm just going to bring up some of the lighting here because I don't even know if it'll do that well. And I have to kind of dig in. And this is almost an exact match for the paper that's underneath. Now I'm not going to put PanPastel over all of her face because I love the watercolor pattern that's underneath. So I'm just going to do a little bit with some of these transitional areas and clean them up a bit. And this color is almost perfect with what I got going on in here. And I can get some of these lines that I like to put in, and I like that. You know, you're always trying to find what mark making that you like and things like that. And then I have where I want a little bit lighter. Probably have to go in, let me see, I might be able to get it with this, where there's light hitting this cheek. But you can see how it's layering with these pencils. I'm going to stand back. And so underneath her eye, I need to tone that down just a hair. So I'm going to actually put a little bit of magenta in there and tone this down. I'm going to use the PanPastel. I might have to bring it up even with burnt sienna. I think the value of that's even as dark as that. So I might actually even just erase it a little bit and put it back in. Maybe it'll, I just think it's a little too dark. So that transition, I'm just lightening it a little bit. I just had a little too much down there, and now I can put a little burnt sienna in there and kind of just play with that transition. So I'm not all into like full hyper realism, but I do love the eyes, and I do love to take time with them, and they make me happy. So I'm going to put a little bit more burnt sienna right there. So you can see how you can just go back and forth. Now, I think if I click it down once, you might be able to see that pattern. I think it's blowing out the pattern. Yeah, there we go. So you can see how that pencil pattern is in there. And it's really hard to leave harsh lines and light because it's when you're up close, you're not thinking, but this is, I want that light to be hitting her. And I'm going to keep that how it is because I really think it's strong. And so I can put up a little bit of lightness right here above that lip. And I think I could bring her bottom lip a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go in here with a little bit more of this. And then I could go back and forth with a pencil. Okay, so let's zoom out and see what that looks like. Got a little bit. And then I have some white I'm going to bring into. Let's zoom out. Perfect. All right. All right. So my main goal when I was taking on the challenge of this piece is I wanted to really keep this in here like it is with the, oh, for some reason my chat is, hopefully that didn't put me behind here. Oh, Nichelle's here. Hi, Nichelle. That's my sister-in-law. Ah, so glad that you're here. Hello, hello. Say hi to Aurora and Corbin and Brandon. I love that you're here. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of this white and pop out a couple of spots in her face. I'm really loving, I'm kind of proud of myself a little bit with just keeping this watercolor in here and the transitions, because it's really hard to not want to go and put color over that. I also want to maybe take this peach pencil. You know, I think I don't think I'm going to go portrait pink on there because that's a lot of portrait pink. I'm just making sure I got the right pencil. Yeah, so I'm going to use this, the 132, and I'm just going to go above her eye a little bit right here. And then right here is, you know, I got to maybe put a little bit of white in here just where this highlight is, and I can go back and forth with the pink because this is where there's a highlight. You always have these little highlights right by your eyebrow. And putting it over this color is really going to make it more of a tint and not a full white. So I'm okay with that. So I got a little bit of those in. And then I can go back and forth with like the portrait pink or the pink. This is the 132, which is the flesh. I'm pretty sure this is the flesh pencil. Okay, so that feels really good. And then I can use this white and just put some pops in a few of the areas where I think would highlight the most here. Right above her lip. Right here. Thanks for the hearts. Right here is another little highlight. And then let's get the top of her nose here. I really like putting scribbles in. That's my jam. And you have to figure out what you love. And I just love putting those little scribbles in. I think you can see them. I might have to knock them. Yeah, you can see that. And then her chin right here, I might go in with a little bit of softness. I have to have a clean wand. When you're putting anything on the face that you are wanting to touch up, but that's clean, you want to do it with a clean wand. Looks like I've even touched something right there. I don't know if I needed to use an eraser, but... Hi, Deneen. He says it's just like putting on your makeup. Well, it's so true. She's a boho-free spirit. She is. I think she's definitely got some boho vibe in there. So I might actually use my tint, and I have the burnt sienna tint. I'm going to see if this, you know, makes me feel happy. And I'm just going to go in on her chin here and bring out a little bit of the highlight right here. And I might add a little bit of white in there, but I just didn't want it to be 100% white. I'm feeling pretty solid about that. And her face to me is looking pretty good, and I don't even want to touch her teeth. Like, I feel like her teeth are almost perfect. So we're going to be coming up to doing the before and after here really soon, and you can see that. And then I also I'm going to probably do that right now, and then if I have any other little finishing stuff, which I might play around with, I'll do that for the Pastel Insider video. But I think you're getting a good vibe of what I did today. And it's good to sit with a piece and kind of see what that, you know, if there is anything else I want to do. But I'm feeling pretty good about all the hair, doing the scritchy scratches and all of that. And so let me get the before and after, and then I have the little mini, this piece that that I can do a little small one that I think would be fun to finish things out with. So let me get the before. Now remember, you guys, the sorry, but I have to leave for my granddaughter's birthday dinner. Well, have a great birthday dinner with her, Marty. Bye, take care. Okay, so here goes the before and the after. So I'm going to tap her off really quick. Let me do that. I don't blow off in my studio, guys. And then remember, my printer wasn't being fun. It's the driver's messed up, so the colors are off. So here is the before. And I really want you guys to look at the power of layering. So you guys could think, oh, it's already done, you know, and then there we are for the power layering. So even her face and her lips, like look at her eyes and how much layering we put into her nose to make it kind of fleshy and glow. Her lips look way, way better in my opinion. And then you can see the hair. And we'll go over here and you can see all the different layering we did for the hair. And the leaves, we've separated those out and cleaned those up, brought some color down, brought some black up in here. So you can really see, and she also has, she's not bald anymore. I mean, right there, she's definitely improved. Like, look at the difference between a hair, whoa! The hairline makes a huge difference, folks. I mean, you guys might not have noticed the whole thing, but I think the hairline is the win for the win on there. Just putting some hair up there. But it's just been a lot of fun, and I hope you guys have enjoyed that. Thank you, Deneen. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to call this one done, but I will, if you want to stay around, I'm going to do that little mini that I started on Tuesday. I did a little demo with it. Because what I really want you guys to do is, you know, maybe you don't feel super confident about diving right into this, even though if you're a Pastel Insider member and you get all the line art and everything, I highly suggest for you to warm up on something a little bit smaller. And I'm going to show you the little small mini that I did. And so I'm just going to tape it up here. And then I'll bring this back up later. And remember, if you haven't signed up yet for my newsletter to get into my free library, I'm going to have that freebie being released here by the end of the month. Well, before Christmas, it's going to be released. I got to get that straight. So I'll have that. So make sure you're in my free PanPastel library because it's basically a membership, and it's the free area, and then I update it so you can check in anytime. So I'm going to zoom in. And then let me get it focused. Got to do the manual focus here. Okay. So I'm going to lighten that up a bit because it's a little dark. There we go. All right. So this is the one person, I really wanted to do this for Luis too, because we were talking on Tuesday, just trying to do something to loosen up to get started. So this is a piece of UART. If you didn't see this little demo, I did it in the first video on Tuesday, so part 1. I demoed the whole thing, and I just sketched out something really, really light, super simple, just a head with the shoulders, and then I showed you with the watercolor. And this is basically just an underpainting. So now I can just play around, and I'm probably going to play around mostly with just the pastel pencils, but there's not a lot I would want to put in with PanPastel because it's pretty small, but I could just start playing. And we can just have some fun. So I don't really have a plan. And I'm thinking if I bring some red in, then I would have that red violet next to here. And then we already have a yellow green in here. So we can play around with that too. So I'm just thinking about, let's be bold and put a little red in here. And you just got to start. I think that's the hardest thing. You know, is just and this is something simple that you guys can do on your own, you know, like, so I'm bringing that red in because it's complementary of green, and then I can go back and forth with some greens and everything. I got to clean up my little area. And this is a yellow green, so I'm thinking about bringing in a little bit of a But I'm just having fun. This isn't meant to be anything really serious. Just showing you how you can use this watercolor underpainting to be a stepping stone for other, you know, to get warmed up. So this is the 575. Is it 575? Yeah, 575, which is the leaf green pencil. And I'm just trying to get some colors in here. And then I'm just building on layers of layers, and this pencil matches that. I think even my purple pencil might match this even better. So this is a Carbothello, and this is a 330. So I can go in here with this pencil, and I'm trying to think of what I want to do here. I think I want to go in and you know, sometimes it's just interesting of what, you know, the watercolor does a lot of the work. You could even just go in and do touch-ups. It doesn't have to be that big and of a deal. But I'm just getting excuses for mark making, and it's just going to take a little bit to build this up. And I could definitely make things more difficult or make them easier. So just having some fun, scribbling around. I think I would prefer the magenta in here. I put red in, but when I started out, I would make these little abstracts. This kind of reminds me of it, and what's fun is you can just play, and you can also do where you take a mechanical pencil and even have some, you know, marks with it, which I find, you know, can be fun. With mixed media, you can just have some pencil marks in there. Oh, I got to actually have it going. And then I can... I really like that drippy part right there. Let's see. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Show Dawn some love. Well, I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you, Stacy. Yeah, I think it would be fun if you just did something really small and fun to play with, and just like, this is not the star of the show by any means, but I'm just having where I get to feel what it feels like. I get to feel the paper. And I think that really helps you, you know, get where you're not so scared to do something. And I guess that's my point. And I could take some black. Thanks for, oh, did you just give me a super chat, Stacy? Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. We can give her some love, give her a thumbs up. Thank you for your support, Stacy. You're amazing. I really appreciate you. And so you can see with the black, I can just go in and push a few things back that I might want to have a little darker. Normally I put my darks in first, but I can Well, got polka dots there. I could put some, I think I'm going to bring some white in and actually, but every piece has an uncomfortable stage, you know, where you're like, am I messing it up? Is this, you know, should I have just left it? You know, I'm gonna use that really pretty Chinese green that we did today. I don't know, I'm gonna put it up here. And I'm gonna try to blend it in with this green to see if I can get a little bit more. I wanted to see if I had like a yellow green like this. Let's see. Shh, don't tell anyone. Thank you, Stacy. I think will do more of these little ones just for fun. Oh, good, Susan. I think they're worth just playing with, you know. I mean, I'm demonstrating a lot of these harder pieces, and my freebie that I'm doing that I showed you guys, for those that might not be here, you know, this is a lot more basic, and I have it zoomed in, but the keyhole's upside down, but it's just a basic heart, and I share how I draw and whimsical it out, because I know Susan, you were talking about that, and that's one of the reasons why I thought this would be great for beginners. I liked putting a lot of beginner lessons in my free library. Is I was like, this shows kind of the full basics and breaks it down to make it a lot easier. So I hope you guys will sign up for the free library, and you'll be able to access that once it goes live. And I'll announce it in my newsletter too. But you can see there's like unlimited possibilities with this. And the bigger you go, I would be like, well, I could play with, if this was bigger, I would be doing more PanPastel with it, but it's not that big. So I'm looking for my portrait pink, and I think I might have, it's my favorite pencil, where are you? That's the only thing, is sometimes I get a little discombobulated with my pencils and stuff, because I do have quite a few of them. And I know I just used that pencil, and I just showed it to you guys. Oh, I put it in my little container. But you can see how now I'm transferring into a little bit lighter of a pencil. Exactly, Susan. I think that's a great thing to do. You're saying everything I would want you to spread to the community, because I think that doing something a little bit easier, and that's why I wanted to do that today, was to really give you guys a fun stepping stone that you could play with and explore and not feel too stressed. And it just ends up becoming like a little abstract. I'm kind of liking, you know, coloring in these wings. And just using that as a side. And then I can brighten them up with a little bit of the white if I want. But you know, you really have unlimited possibilities. But I will say with this paper, Susan, the UART allows pencils. I don't think you get that same, I think I have a piece down here. Let me see if I do. I think this might, no, this is the Lux Archival. But on the, using the pastel ground, or using the gesso, the pencils don't go as smooth. So, oh, I'm a little over time, but I really just, I'm having a good time finishing this with you guys. But we're just, you know, just having fun, loosening up, and not overthinking it is my goal for you. And I hope this will inspire you to play. I mean, you could just keep going on and on. The possibilities are really endless. All right. So I'm not going to overthink it. It's not supposed to be some, you know, rock star piece. It's just supposed to inspire you guys to show up, have fun. This is that portrait pink. I love this portrait pink. I'm really liking using the pink in this piece. But I just want to show you the options and the possibilities, and that's what's exciting here for me. So, all right, let's see. I'm still here until you turn off the lights, girl. Thank you, Stacy. Let's see. I sent you a short message. Oh, for Stacy. Awesome. Yes, the pastel ground is a struggle with the pencils. We'll get both colors ordered after Christmas. Well, I can't wait to see what you do, Susan. I know you've painted a ton, and I think you're going to have a great time. And I painted a lot before I got into PanPastel, and I was like 10 years just in watercolor, and I did acrylics and all of that. And then when I found this paper, it just kind of rocked my world because I was able to do all the things I wanted to do. I mean, look at me, I'm still fussing with this one, but I just want it to, it's just not at that part where I love, love, love it, but it's just the beginning. So that's where it's at. But yeah, I think you're gonna really enjoy the UART paper. All right, you guys, so we are going to, it's rocking the, oh, thank you, Kat, I really appreciate that. Okay, you guys, well, I am going to be doing next week, we're going to be doing in the same mixed media magic style, I'm going to be doing a full-on abstract. So that is going to be a lot of fun. And for you, my pastel insiders, I will be getting everything into the classroom that makes this into a full lesson on Friday. So you'll get your email. I'm trying to think. I think that's about everything for today. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. This has been great. I hope you had a great time. And oh, good. I'm glad you like the abstract goodness. So I'm doing all three genres. I did the owl, so I did an animal. I did a figurative, and now I'm going to do an abstract. I think that's going to be a great way to sign off for the year. And that'll be my last live until next year. And then I'll be seeing you back in January. So that's exciting. All right. I'm so excited for you, Laura and Deneen, for being on the retreat. Thank you so much for signing up and supporting me. I can't wait to meet you in person. And for those of you, I put all the information in there if you want to check out the retreat and be able to join me live. All right, you guys. Bye, Nichelle. Bye, everyone. You guys take care. And thanks again, Stacy, for the super chat. I really appreciate you. All right. Bye-bye.